This is the brief on Arsenal's 2026 pre-season analysis and club preparation. With key players still resting after the World Cup, manager Mikel Arteta is navigating a really unique puzzle, leaning heavily on fresh transfers, breakthrough youth prospects, and strict tactical discipline to prep for their Premier League opener against Coventry City. First, with those missing stars leaving a huge vacuum, the understudies are treating these early friendlies like live auditions to steal the spotlight. And wow, we're seeing some massive immediate impacts. £34 million new signing Christos Tzolis scored on his debut in a 4-1 win over Girona and grabbed an assist against MK Dons. Plus, 16-year-old academy prospect Max Dowman bagged a goal and an assist against Girona too. Second, individual brilliance only works if it fits the system, so Arteta is sticking to his signature tactics by relying on inverted fullbacks. We're watching defenders like Myles, Lewis-Skelly and Riccardo Calafiori tuck inside the pitch to create a functional three-man midfield. Now you might be wondering, is this just some trendy positional novelty? Well no, it's fundamentally about maximizing structure over chaos. Finally, all this tactical idealism slams right into the harsh reality of the medical room as the club races to get fit for August 21st. William Saliba and Jurrien Timber are still recovering and might actually miss the start. Meanwhile, Bukayo Saka is completely bypassing Achilles surgery just to be ready for game week 1. It leaves us asking a really tough question. By having Saka skip surgery to play immediately, are Arsenal risking his long-term health for short-term availability? Ultimately, Arsenal's preseason is a balancing act of masking injury woes and World Cup fatigue with exciting new depth and unwavering tactical control.
Upgrading a car's transmission is a pretty delicate job when the vehicle is just sitting quietly in a garage.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
But imagine trying to swap out a manual transmission for an automatic while you're cruising down the highway at 80 miles an hour.
I mean, that sounds like a total disaster waiting to happen.
Right. But that is essentially what Mikel Arteta is attempting with Arsenal heading into this 2026-27 season.
It really is a high-wire act. He isn't just changing the spark plugs here, he's fundamentally changing how power is distributed from the back line straight to the forwards.
Exactly. So welcome to this custom deep dive. Today we're looking at Arsenal's historic 100th consecutive season in the English top flight.
A huge milestone.
Yeah, it really is. And looking at our stack of match reports and tactical blogs, our mission today is to decode how Arteta is integrating these new signings, managing a massive depth crisis after some key departures, and basically setting up this squad to survive a grueling European campaign.
To really understand that transmission upgrade you mentioned, you have to look at the personnel changes at the back for you to see the whole picture.
Right, because the departures really impact the depth, right?
Exactly. With Kiwior and Leandro Trossard departing, I mean, new faces have to step up immediately.
So how does that change the tactics? Because we all know Arteta loves his inverted fullbacks to crowd the midfield.
He does, but with Riccardo Calafiori and academy graduate Myles Lewis-Skelly taking over that left side, the execution is shifting a bit.
Shifting how? Like getting more aggressive?
Yeah, it's less about just keeping possession and more about creating this springboard for the attack.
Oh, I see. So that numerical superiority in the middle gives the forwards a safety net to just be hyper-aggressive off the ball.
You nailed it.
Which directly connects to the new £34 million signing from Club Brugge, right?
Mm-hmm.
Christos Tzolis.
Yeah, Tzolis. And he immediately proved his worth.
I mean, that debut goal against Girona was wild. He perfectly executed that high-pressing demand, just winning the ball high up and cutting inside.
Tzolis provides a very specific kind of off-the-ball intensity, the kind that Europe's elite competitions just completely demand from you.
Right, because you can't just sit back in the Champions League.
Exactly. By pressing high with that midfield safety net behind him, he forces turnovers closer to the opponent's goal. So Arsenal doesn't have to build up from deep as often.
The defensive action basically instantly becomes an attacking threat.
Right.
But I have to ask, with Trossard gone, is Tzolis' aggressive high press a direct upgrade for our European ambitions? Or is Arteta just experimenting with a new profile of winger?
Well, I'd say it's a calculated evolution. I mean, Trossard offered incredible close control, but Tzolis gives you raw transition speed.
And speed kills.
Right. When you win the ball back in the final third, you want someone who can ruthlessly exploit a disorganized defense before they can even set their lines.
And they are definitely going to need those quick attacking threats. Because looking at the squad lists, Arsenal's depth is basically a triage center right now.
It's looking really rough.
Yeah, they can't afford long, grueling buildups if half the team is exhausted.
The post-World Cup fatigue combined with major injuries is just testing the absolute limits of this roster.
I mean, William Saliba is recovering from back surgery. Bukayo Saka is managing an Achilles issue.
Though the medical staff is hoping Saka is ready for the August 21st opener against Coventry, right?
Right. Hoping being the key word there. Plus, stars like Declan Rice and Miguel Merino are returning late from their World Cup runs.
So when you are missing that many premium parts, you have to rely on internal depth. You lean on the academy.
Wait. Arteta is publicly laughing off rumors of buying seasoned stars like Vinicius Jr., but he's supposedly comfortable banking his Champions League hopes on a 16-year-old. Because Max Dowman just put up a goal and an assist against Girona, and suddenly he's being touted as a legitimate number 10 option alongside Kai Havertz and Gabriel Jesus.
I know.
That feels like walking a tightrope without a net. Can youth really replace seasoned depth at this level?
It sounds incredibly risky on paper, I'll give you that. But this goes back to why that tactical engine is being upgraded in the first place.
Oh, because of the system.
Exactly. Arteta isn't expecting a 16-year-old to single-handedly carry the team against Europe's elite. He expects the system to carry the team.
Oh, okay.
That functional three-man midfield we talked about is designed to be so rigid and supportive that a talented kid like Dowman can slot in and just rely on positioning.
Right, rather than having to perform individual miracles against, veteran defenders.
Exactly.
So, mapping this out for you as you watch this season unfold, Arsenal's 2026 transition entirely relies on blending these high-pressing new signings, like Zayzi's, with incredibly tactically fluid academy graduates.
Just to survive this early season injury crisis, systemic survival over individual brilliance, at least until the squad is fully fit.
Yeah, well said. But I'll leave you with this final thought to mull over. If Arteta's entire system now relies on those inverted fullbacks pushing into the center to maintain control, what happens if elite European teams figure out how to just completely bypass that midfield?
Oh, man.
Right? What if they just ruthlessly exploit the empty spaces left behind on the wings?
If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please consider subscribing to Decision 45. Your support means the world to us and helps us keep creating high-quality content just like this. Don't forget to hit that like button. Leave a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe so you never miss an update.